let's talk about
Okay.
the
Idols.
idol. So basically, what do you think would be a good first question? How we went to the show, or like what is an idol?
Oh gosh. So my intention with this episode is for people listening as well is not to do like a deep history, like anything like that. Basically, Mata and I, we went to an idol show together and it was a lot of fun, but it is like a completely different experience from like a regular concert that you'll go to in North America, or, even like a regular band, or I don't know, Japan has such like an interesting band and like how do I say, entertainment
That's the next thing
culture.
I want to do. I want to go to a band show because I want to see how different that is.
Because, it's so like similar in that, did you know that like at Visual K concerts and stuff like that, they also do like calls, and like specifically for Visual K, they do stuff with their hands that's like very...
That I knew. Which is so different. And we'll talk about it again, because I'm sure most people here, if you either have been to idol shows or you know about the culture, or you've probably been to, I don't know, your typical concert in North America or Europe, right? Where you go up to a venue, you buy a ticket, maybe it's between $15 to $50 if it's, like not a
Depending
super
on
big
size,
artist.
yeah.
Or it's one of those like Taylor Swift stadium tours or Madonna or whatever,
Yeah. So yeah, basically, the thing about buying idol tickets in Japan though is so frustrating. There was a show that I wanted to go to, which good thing I didn't get the tickets because I was sick and I wouldn't have been able to go anyway. But an idol that I liked in a previous group, she debuted in a new group, and they were having their debut show while we were there, and I really wanted to go. But a lot of shows in Japan, they need a Japanese phone number, and and what's even more frustrating is if you're just like, oh, I'll just get my friend to get the ticket for me. No, what you have to do is you get the page of your ticket on your phone, and it is a live page, so you can't have it like screenshotted or anything like that. You have to have the phone that is associated with the phone number that registered for the ticket. It's just a whole mess. It's just so frustrating. Sometimes being an idol fan, actually not sometimes, a lot of times, being an idol fan is suffering.
It's just suffering and pain.
It is, because so many of my favorite members graduate and groups disband. A group that I was just getting into recently announced their disbandment just today.
Well, we can definitely talk about disbandments later and things like that, because in some of my questions, I think we talk about like people who are founding members of a lot of groups, etc. So how did you go about getting the tickets for the show for us?
Luckily with this one, it's just make an account and buy a ticket. It was super duper easy. Like I don't even think they asked for an address. And if they do, if they ask for an address, I'll put in like a Tenso address that I have. So
what's a Tenso?
Tenso means like forwarding. So
okay.
So it's basically just that, where they give you an address in Japan, and if you buy something, it goes to that address, and then they forward it for you. Yeah. So there's lots of sites
the main difference at first, I'd say, first of all, I think lining up in front of the venue is very normal.
Yeah.
But the main first difference is usually when you walk up into a venue in North America, small or big, you will have merch laid out everywhere. And you can usually purchase merch before, during, after the concert right away. And usually the merch is t-shirts, CDs, what else? Maybe like stickers, keychains, things like that.
Like things like
and I noticed right away
that
there wasn't any of that, which felt kind of strange. Like, it's an opportunity to make money. It's an opportunity to grow the group name. You have fans coming there. Why not sell them merch, right?
I'll be honest, it really does depend on the event. The event we went to was very, very small. Maybe like 100 people that were there.
I think closer to 80, to be honest.
I was going to say very, very small. There are even smaller events that I've been to. But you're right. Like probably like 80. For big festivals and things like that, that is definitely the norm. Like if you go to like a big like Tokyo Dome, Saitama Super Arena, like Makuhari Messe, like those kinds of events will have your merchandise like at all times. So that's not something that's like not something Japan does, but for smaller shows like this one, there's a term that that like is used in Japan called Chika idol, which Chika means underground. So it's underground idol. It's like your smaller idols and things like that. So for Chika idol events, you'll have they very much focus on having the Buppan time being when you buy all the merchandise, which Buppan means like goods time. Like it's so it's when you go and buy your pictures. It's when you go, and honestly, a lot of the times they only sell pictures with the girls.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's very rare to be able to get like a CD. To get
I wanted to buy a CD and I couldn't. No t-shirts, no CDs.
It's very weird. Even
I
for
wonder
me.
if it's just something that, when you're a small group, like let's say they bring 100 shirts, right? It costs a lot of money to print 100 shirts.
Right.
It costs a lot of money to bring them, to store them, to everything. But like you said, there was 100 people at that show, maximum. Something like 5 groups perform. Some groups only had a few fans in there for them, maybe 5-6 fans. You're not going to bring 20 shirts for 5-6 fans, right?
Right.
But a picture, like it's just, you know how they say like take a picture, it lasts longer. It really does. It's a forever memory, and usually the pictures are small Polaroids, so you can put them, and like it's a cherishable memory. And when you get the picture, you get to be next to the idol. You get to kind of talk with them a little bit.
That is definitely
I
like their
get
bread and butter. Like getting checkies, getting the Polaroids is like the main thing people go to idol shows for, because you get that time to talk with them. You get like that one-on-one interaction. But also like, oh gosh, what was I gonna say?
That at smaller shows, merch is different?
Yeah. For like, so when an idol, so what we went to was called a Taiban. And it was a smaller size Taiban because there was only 5 groups.
I think 5 groups.
5?
5.
Yeah.
Was there a group after Finger Runs?
My group.
It's because the main group went back again.
Twice. Yeah, they went twice.
Yeah, okay. So there was 4 groups.
Yeah, so it was 4 groups. Taiban is like, it's like when a group of, like you'll have each idol group do like 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to 25 minutes of a slot. And so you kind of get to experience a bunch of different groups all at once. And sometimes they go up to like 100 groups. It's like, it can get insane.
Whoa.
Yeah. There are some Taiban that are like so long. They last like from 10 a.m. until like 9 p.m. Like
that is really cool though. You really get to discover groups. I mean, I discovered a group I really liked there, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just really fun. And, for some of it, it's like, oh my gosh, because, the bigger the Taiban, the more expensive it's going to be. So they can go up to like 5,000 yen. And it's like, I'm spending 5,000 yen and I only care about 2 groups. Like, it can be.
Yeah. Just so we're clear, 5,000 yen is $31 US.
Yes.
But you only care about 2 groups. But if you love music and it's a 10-hour show, you're spending $31 to have a lot of music, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But there's also, it's so funny because like there's like the newer idol fans are less so this, but in the past, like there's a term called DD. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It means dare demo daisuki.
Sorry, can you repeat? I coughed. Genuinely, I'm so sorry.
I know. It's so funny. It's called dare demo daisuki, which stands for I love anybody. And
yeah, that's me. I'm like that. And
it's kind of funny because it's been like adopted into VTuber culture a little bit as well, sort of like Oshi and stuff like that. But
where people will support a bunch of different groups, a bunch of different people. Yeah.
Exactly. But that used to be like so nowadays it's like people are a little finicky if you like more than one member of a group. Basically, you're supposed to like a group and then one member in it.
You're supposed to like a favorite.
Exactly. But so there are still fans that get like kind of, you like 2 people in the group, you're not dedicated enough. So I get nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, in my group I like 2 of the girls and I have a pen light for each of them. So, but in the past it used to be even more strict. So they would be like, oh, you can't like even more than one group. Like you have. I know, isn't it crazy?
Which is so crazy to me, right? Like you can like more than.
It's so weird because I'm like, it's music, you know? Like I can like more than one band. Like it's such it feels so, I'm glad it's not really like that anymore. Like but in the past it was so restrictive. I mean, obviously people did it anyway, but people would judge you. People would really judge you and be like,
that's so crazy to me. Like, oh, Matara, you like 9 Inch Nails and Muse? How could you?
I know.
You have to pick one.
I know.
And Nirvana? How could you? What do you mean?
It makes it when you think of it, it just seems so ridiculous. But people were really serious about like supporting their favorite group.
And I noticed that because basically like your group that we went to see, it was the first group and then they had the encore show. They were kind of the bigger group there.
Their
so
name
obviously
was
they had more
Sayonara,
fans.
Stay tuned.
Sayonara, stay tuned. There we go. And a lot of people had pen lights and a lot of people cheered for them. And then when other groups were playing and singing, they were also really cute, also really good. People are already standing there with light sticks. And I don't know, for me, I feel like I kept, raising my light stick and cheering and kind of, but I was kind of the only one. So I stopped because I felt like, oh, I'm not supposed to just be cheering for every group. It felt that way. And it sucks because weird, I feel that it's kind of different. Like, and again, I say it sucks, but it sucks to me because I'm used to North American shows and I'm used to it. I'm used to you go to a show and you cheer everybody on.
Yeah.
But I get it also, right? Why would you cheer somebody on if that's not your group? If that's not your favorite group, save your energy for your Oshi.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's just like, it ends up becoming like such a, it feels like there are 100% unspoken rules.
That I probably broke.
No, I don't think so at all. I think you were, the only thing, okay, I'm going to call you out.
Yeah, she's going to call me out.
I'm going to call you out. You were on your phone sometimes.
I was because we were organized before we realized that we had COVID. I was looking up hospitals to go to because at night nobody was selling COVID tests anymore. So I was looking up hospitals that I could go get tested at. And also we were supposed to go to Fuji Q the next day with a group of people. So I was checking on the group chat. But when you say I was on my phone, I checked my phone a few times.
I know. Yeah. I looked around. I think I turned around once and I saw you were on your phone. I was like, oh my, no, I'm just kidding.
But that is, oh my God, I'm such a rule breaker.
You're such a
But again, in North America, that is so normal. And in Europe and everything, like people will get on their phone very often.
Yeah, which is so funny because like that is not a huge, but that's like a no-no. But during MCs, people will like talk over the girls and I'm like, shut up!
Right?
Why are you talking? Right? It drives me crazy. Even I'm like, why are you talking over them? But
I definitely for like the light stick stuff. Sorry, the cheering stuff. I remember thinking it was a little bit odd that you could see that people were like kind of enjoying the music and vibing to it, but they would not even like raise their light stick or would not kind of move their body more if it wasn't their favorite group. But when it was their favorite group, they went all out.
I think it's because in Japanese, like in idol culture, like first of all, like having a pen light of like if you're not familiar with a group, you don't know, you're not going to know what color to change your pen light to. If you're not familiar with a group and you're just like, I don't know any of these girls, like, sure, I like their music. I'm listening to them right now. I think they're cute, but I'm not familiar enough with them to pick an Oshi right away. Like, some people could be like, I'm not just going to change my pen light to green because then maybe the green member will then think, oh, they're really into me, stuff like that.
Wow, that is such a different cultural thing because I feel like if that was a thing, so for example, when we went to, kind of a VTuber concert in North America, people change their pen lights. Like whoever is on stage, you change the pen light to their color to support them.
But these were groups, right? These were groups of girls. So it's just like, say a group comes out, it's of 6 different members. They're each a different color. I don't know a single one of them. I mean, I could maybe randomly change my pen light to blue, I guess.
Would it be rude to then just have it on white and cheer for that? If none of them are white.
people just don't do that.
I have to say it's interesting.
Yeah, people just don't do it. So there sometimes are group colors, like a overall color that fits a group. Like for example, I'm thinking of a group called Sweeney. Their group color is blue, but each member has a different color. They just don't advertise, like their uniforms. See, like when you saw all the different groups, like you would know which girl is blue or which girl is yellow.
Because basically, like each girl was typically color coded, except I think Finger Runs, they all had black and orange.
Yeah.
They were not color coded.
But I think, and not always do like idol groups focus on the colors. Like it's easier, like for branding and like, you know, stuff like that, but some groups don't make it a huge you know, a
deal?
huge deal for it. So but yeah,